All right, guys, so our Baltimore Ravens are facing the 4-1 Washington Commanders in an absolute showdown. Lamar Jackson versus Jaden Daniels, two of the top quarterbacks in the NFL right now. We got a big-time update on Keaton Mitchell, some other injury updates before the game. Todd Monken and defensive coordinator Zach Orr addressing the media, as well as a big-time hire on defense. All that and much more. So welcome into another episode of Ravens Reports. It's your guy Noah here with For the Flock, as always, bringing you guys our top 5 news reports and storylines coming out of our Ravens today. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. As you can see, got a little bit of a different background here, and that's because we're visiting family right now, and we are in town, and we're nearby for the Baltimore Ravens versus Washington Commanders game that will be live in attendance for. By the way, this video is sponsored by SeatGeek. More on that in a minute, but we got a ton of news to talk about. Let's dive into it. At number 1, Roquan Smith's talking about this Washington Commanders offense that's high humming right now. This is the best offense in football when it comes to points per game. But let me remind you, the Buffalo Bills were the best offense in football going into the Ravens game at home in M&T Bank Stadium, and that quickly resulted in an absolute shutdown of the Bills offense. I'm not saying we're going to shut down the Commanders, but I think we're well equipped to get the job done and to slow down Jaden Daniels, who is a rookie, but is certainly not playing like it right now. Here's what Roquan Smith had to say on the Commanders not playing a defense like Baltimore's.
As a defense, we give things that a lot of other teams don't really give throughout the league in the sense of our disguises, coverages, and just the way we play the game of football. So it'll definitely be something new. He definitely hasn't seen a defense like ours this season, so we just got to come out clicking on our cylinders, and when we do that, we'll be at our best.
He also says they have to protect the bank, protect their home turf by any means necessary. So before we get on to the rest of today's content, guys, on Sunday, my wife and I will be at the bank. We will be at the Baltimore Ravens versus Washington Commanders game, and that's why I'm so excited to announce that SeatGeek is officially sponsoring today's video. We got a discount for you guys if you're looking to get into M&T Bank Stadium for either this game with the Commanders or an upcoming game. There's going to be a ton of exciting games that we got coming up. Ravens started 0-2, but have now won their last 3, and they're looking to get another win and get to 4-2 to keep that win streak rolling at home in Baltimore. There's always something about the energy, being surrounded with all the other fans at the stadium. I'm so excited for it. And with over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There's more than 70,000 events on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, like our Baltimore Ravens, festivals, and more. You guys can see the app here. Very easy to use, very convenient. And you guys know football is back. Baseball, we're in the middle of the playoffs right now. There's basketball right around the corner that's starting up right now. Plus, there's tons of other artists and events that you guys can go check out, concerts, all of that stuff. What I love about SeatGeek is they put all the tickets across the web in one single place to make sure that you're getting a good deal. And they make it real clear and simple for us. I'm a simple guy, and I love how they have this color system. Whenever you're looking at the tickets on the seating chart and the maps, you can see that if you look for the green dots, a green dot means it's a good deal. A red dot means it's not a good value, not a great deal. So they make the value of the tickets really simple and make it easy to find exactly where you want to sit. It's a great overall experience on the app. You can also look at the website. The desktop experience is great as well. And you guys know I came through for y'all. Use my code FLOCK for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code FLOCK. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app as well. So I look forward to possibly seeing you guys at this upcoming game against the Washington Commanders. These quarterbacks are two of the best quarterbacks playing in football right now, and it's going to be a fun matchup. So thanks again to SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video. Roquan Smith, the leader of the defense, I like his mentality and approach right now. He's going to be a big reason why the Ravens are going to turn this defense around. Another factor in that is at number 2, the Baltimore Ravens have brought in a senior advisor role. That's former defensive coordinator and Dean Pease. Dean Pease had his ups and downs here in Baltimore, but obviously it didn't end well here, where the Ravens' passing defense was not great. However, he has a lot of wisdom. He's a guy that he actually played. Zach Orr played for Dean Pease as a coordinator. He said he's been talking to him and they felt like it was a great fit. Zach Orr, very humble to say, hey, I would like some help right now. I don't know if this would have happened if the Ravens defense was thriving or not, but nonetheless, Zach Orr says it's a great addition. Obviously, the Ravens organization thinks so as well. To bring in Dean Pease, sometimes you just need someone to come in and say, hey, man, settle down. Let's get back to the fundamentals, some encouragement. Obviously, Dean Pease is a guy that he looks up to, and I think it's going to make a difference in this defense. I think they got plenty of talent. Marlon Humphrey, Matabike, Dafe Owe, Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith. They got guys that are performing right now. By the way, Yannick Ngakoue, in his first game back since being signed off the couch, he practiced about a week here in Baltimore, had a nice game with the Ravens. He actually earned the 7th highest PFF pass rush grade among all edge defenders in Week 5. He had one nice spin move where he got right up in the face of Joe Burrow on a pass rush. I think Yannick Ngakoue is going to make some big plays and some big moments for the Ravens this year. I'm fired up about it. So going back to the defense, we got Dean Pease added as a senior advisor. They got tons of talent. John Harbaugh talked about the secondary. Had 5 or 6 plays. They just played poorly. They're just way better than. But also Joe Burrow and the Bengals receivers were just making plays. But here's what Zach Orr had to say on, not quite living up to Ravens defense expectations and how they want to get back to it, showing some ownership, showing some humility. Here's what he had to say.
Proud of them, honestly. Like, I told those guys I got to commend them because obviously it was a stretch there from the end of the first half throughout really all the way through most of that fourth quarter where things weren't looking good at all. And the thing that I saw on that sideline was guys weren't, pointing the finger. They weren't blaming anybody. Guys weren't pouting. And they said, look, man, we got to figure this out and we got to get a stop. And those guys came up with 3 big stops that helped us win the game. So it's a lot of stuff we got to correct and get better at. But that's the thing I'm encouraged about is the group of men we have in that room. And I think they showed that Sunday in those last 3 possessions, and then just they worked throughout the week. Like, all of us are mad and disappointed and pissed off with the way that with some of the performances we put out there on the field. But we all hold each other accountable. I hold myself accountable. They hold themselves accountable. And we know we got the right men to go do the job. So now it's like K-Ham said, enough of the talking. It's time to go, put it on film. So, but I'm very pleased with the guys, man. Nobody's batting an eye. Nobody's wavering. We talk about it all the time. Adversity is going to face you, in life, just even as a man. Forget football. And it's going to be about how you respond, how you keep getting up. And, we've probably faced more adversity than we've liked because we feel like a lot of it's been self-inflicted. But, the guys that keep responding the right way. So I'm fired up. That's what keeps me going, honestly. We got the right people to go out here and go do the job.
At number 3, one thing we talked about last week, a post-reaction game to the Cincinnati Bengals-Ravens game, is that we were impressed by how the Ravens were able to win in a multitude of ways. They've shown against Buffalo, hey, we can just go run for 250 yards. Derrick Henry can go crazy. Derrick Henry in the run game went crazy on the Dallas Cowboys. But then when you need to win a shootout and you see, the Bengals were selling out to stop the run, we were able to have Lamar Jackson with 4 passing touchdowns, 350 passing yards, 130 passer rating, just lightening up teams. Great separation by Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers making plays. And then how about these tight ends? Todd Monken talked about how they're able to win in a multitude of ways. Win against your DBs in the passing game, especially against linebackers and stuff. They're a mismatch problem. Charlie Kohler emerging as the number 3 PFF raw separation grade. That means how well he's getting open. He's elite right now. He's up there with Travis Kelce and Zach Ertz in separation. We also have Isaiah Likely, top 5. And then why the Ravens are so hard to defend right now. They had the number 2 offense in football in points per game. They have the number 1 in yards per game. By the way, number 1 in points per game is actually the Washington Commanders. They have the 2 best offenses are going head-to-head right now with 2 of the best quarterbacks. Dual threat. It's going to be must-watch TV. I can't wait to be there at M&T Bank Stadium watching the game. It's going to be electric, man. At number 5, some injury updates. Keaton Mitchell was actually seen working on a side field. He's not officially practicing yet, but he's out there working, conditioning, rehabbing, moving around. He hit 21 miles per hour a few weeks ago, and to see him back on a side field working is huge progress, man. John Harbaugh said he's still on schedule, and they look forward to seeing him return this season. I can't wait to see Keaton Mitchell and Derrick Henry. And by the way, Justice Hill, who's been so underrated, man. Justice Hill has been a true weapon. He's not just like an auxiliary piece anymore. He's not just a, hey, good depth back. Like, no, Justice Hill has been a playmaker for the Ravens. He had over 70 receiving yards just a few weeks ago against Buffalo. And Justice Hill, Keaton Mitchell, Derrick Henry. And how about Tylan Wallace showing up? Tylan Wallace was a guy that made a ton of plays in training camp. He looks like he could be emerging as the number 3 receiver right now. You know, we talked about that in training camp, and Nelson Aguilar obviously got, all the reps first in the game, but Tylan Wallace is making his presence known and is a trusted target for Lamar Jackson. Made several key plays that if he didn't make, the Ravens don't win. Most of these guys have returned to practice. Here's a look at the injury report. The Ravens are in relative good health heading into this matchup. That's been a huge part of the season so far. The Ravens have been staying healthy, which is great news. The offensive line has had some consistency together. By the way, I wasn't planning on talking about this, but John Harbaugh said that they may just keep rolling with the lineup they have right now. He said an object in motion stays in motion, and I think he's referring to Patrick McCarry being at left guard, Roger Rosengarten, the rookie, starting at right tackle. They have some gel right there, even though Andrew Voorhees is back practicing, working hard to get back. He's saying they might just roll with the offensive line that is, dropping 30-point bombs back-to-back weeks and having success against the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. As always, man, if you enjoyed today's content, make sure to smash the like button. It does really help out the channel. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all, and we'll see you in the next video.
When he wasn't looking, he ran me over.